Welcome to the Waffle Flower channel. Hi, it's Therese. So today's card is using an awesome die which is called Love Notes, and this is a really fab die if you have like a gift card or you want to just add a little note. I decided to actually add this. It makes a little envelope. I wanted to make it part of my card. So I'm going to start out by actually die cutting. It's quite a large die, and it's really easy to put together. It just has 4 score lines, and I did actually use my bone folder to make sure that they were nice and crisp. And this particular envelope doesn't need any tape. It actually holds together with the holes that are on the front. I'll show you what I mean when I get the whole thing folded over. I didn't use really heavy cardstock for this. This is the 80-pound, can't even speak, 80-pound Nina Solar White, and I found that was a pretty good weight for this card. So you just poke those 2 little sort of ties through the holes that were in the front, and it just holds itself together. How easy is that? I've got a stamp set called Summertime, and I've cut a little card that fits inside the envelope, and it's just a tiny bit smaller than that, and I'm stamping out a little scene to have like a surprise for the person receiving the card to find when they open up this envelope. I would also think it'd be a really good place to put a little gift card as well. Did you see? I got ink everywhere. The sentiment came from the balloon messages set, and I'm covering up my little inky mistake by adding a grassy scene at the bottom. I'll come back to colouring that in just a moment. Now I've got some of the heavy Nina cardstock. I'm just giving this a try at the moment, and this is the 110-pound. And what I normally do with my other cardstock is I wouldn't normally stamp directly on the card base. I would normally do a separate piece of cardstock and then adhere it to the front. But this is such a heavy weight cardstock, I thought it'd be worth giving it a try. And it seemed to hold up really well. I've got the Plaid Play stamp set, and I chose 3 different colours of ink. These are some of the beautiful Waffle Flower inks. There was the yellow one is You Said What. The one that's orange is Oh Happy Day, and New Fishing Pond is that beautiful sort of blue-green colour. And I am just working my way down the front of the card. It's going to be a top fold card, and eyeballing it. If you wanted to be really pedantic, perfect, then you could actually draw some lines or mark it out, but I just winged it, and it seemed to work fine. Now I want to do some sort of sketchy colouring on my gift card message, and I've got my Prismacolor pencils, and I'm just sketching in some lines. I am using similar colours to the ones that I stamped on the front of the card. I thought it is, it is a pretty card, so it's probably more geared towards a lady than a man, but I would probably give this to a man. You know, you could even use it for a little bit of a unique kind of a Valentine's card if you wanted to, just because it's not the usual colours, but I thought these colours worked really well together. I blended out the pencil with some Gamsol, and I'm using the Nina cardstock again, and I think this is actually the first time I've used the pencils on this cardstock, so I am getting used to them. Like I said, I did want it to look a little bit sketchy. When I colour with my Prismacolors, I usually like to add a couple of colours if I'm going to do some shading before I actually come in with my Gamsol. I find that that works because I can always come in and add more after, and that way I don't end up with it too dark, because once it's too dark it is hard to lift that colour once you have blended it with the Gamsol or the white mineral spirit, whatever product you're going to use. There are a few different products that you can get for this. Isn't he a cutie, this bear? I just did some rough colouring in the background This was sort of, I don't know, the images in this set are kind of cactuses, and it's a summertime set, so to me that kind of reeks of, you know, that sort of sketchy out west colours that you see. So that's kind of what the look I was going for. I didn't want it to be too perfect. Alright, I did decide to put a flower in the bear's hand and add a couple of bees to my card. I have the matching dies for this set. It comes with even the smallest dies, so it even has one for that bee image. I would not like to have cut this out, fussy cut this little bee out. Would have been really difficult. So having the coordinating dies just made this so easy. So, and don't they cut perfectly? And of course I'll just run the other bead through my die cutting machine, and I just coloured those with pencils and used my Onyx black ink. I think I forgot to let you know that. So the Love Notes die set has a lot of little filler dies. It has like some really nice hearts, and it has this string of hearts, and I thought it'd be really fun just to add this string of hearts as a window into the actual front of the card. So how cool is that? This just had my mind reeling with lots of ideas what I could do with this string of hearts then, and die cutting that multiple times to get some really fab effects. But anyway, I'm digressing. And to attach my little elements on the gift card message, I just used some glue dots. Now the set I've got here is called Open Here, and this has lots of instructions on it, and I thought it'd be really fun just in case people didn't work it out. I don't know, I think most people would open this envelope, but just in case I thought I'd give them some little instructions and just stamp the word look and face the arrow pointing up. I've got my ATG adhesive, and I'm just going to adhere the envelope on the front of the card, so it actually looks like a fairly clean and simple card until I add all my elements. And I thought those little orange hearts just had to go in that window, in with the gift card as well. Why not? They were there. And one last thing was just to add the little bee with a glue dot. Thanks so much for joining me here today. For more product info, please visit waffleflower.com. You can also follow us on YouTube, Instagram and Facebook for more creative ideas. There's always heaps of inspiration and ideas over at the blog, and you can find all the products linked in the store below. Till next time, bye.